Hey everyone, it's Maria, Solitary Wish Tracks here. Hope everyone had a good Mabon celebration. I certainly did, and I want to know how exactly you celebrate your Mabon. This is how I celebrate my Mabon. It's pretty cool, pretty chill, and a lot of nature. So I was Mabon was on kind of 22nd, 23rd. It always falls between like the 22nd and the 24th in the month of September, depending on the season and the position of the earth and all that stuff that year. Usually you can go by the Farmer's Almanac and it will tell you exactly what day it is that year. Anywho, I pretty much made kind of a day out of it. It was on a Friday for me, so I had to work, unfortunately, but I kind of like made it a full circle. I started my day celebrating, closed my day celebrating, and kind of followed through the next few days for my weekend as well regarding my rituals and being outside in nature. Now for the first day, when I was Mabon, I opened my morning with a ritual. So, in the mornings I normally do like my fire pujas on my altar right here. I have my ancestral candle I light, my gods and goddesses, deities, things like that. I pay homage to them in the morning and ask for the wisdom and pull my cards. So I did that, but I also did a spell. Now, since it is Mabon the second harvest, I had these two red apples that I got from my work, and I use them as part of my ritual because when I like to do rituals and spells, I like to use natural objects. So I love things that I can either burn or I can plant in the ground. Those are my two favorite kinds of spells, like either burning stuff or like putting it in the dirt. And so for this one, I wanted to put it in dirt. It was also near the new moon for me as well when I did my celebration. So it was a good time to plant seeds as per se, even though it's my one second harvest. I wanted to plant seeds using what I reaped or, some harvest from the second season or the second harvest. Yeah, fruit from the second harvest. And I also want to plant new beginnings for the new moon so I can cultivate it in this upcoming full moon. So I took two apples, or red apples, cut them horizontally, because if you cut them horizontally and you open them up, you can actually see like a pentacle or a star on the inside of it because of the way the seeds are positioned. And for me, the star, whether it's in a pentagram form or not, or pentacle form, yeah, is very, very powerful because the 5 points represent the elements and spirit. It represents power. It represents protection. It has all of this beautiful geometric symmetry, power, symbolism in it. And so utilizing this most natural form of the pentacle or pentagram is something I find very beneficial to this time of year. So I cut two apples in half, so I had two little places, or four halves I should say, where you could see the star. And then I smudged them with two different smudges I have. I use one for prosperity and then my wind activation one because I'm trying to get better, my finances. I'm getting a whole lot better, thankfully. Like I've seen my finances grow. That's because of all the manifesting I'm doing. And you can always manifest more money if you need it. So I'm constantly working on that manifestation. So with prosperity, I have like on one half one apple and the other half another apple, I put my prosperity smudge and rubbed it in and said my spell, had my working candle lit, and just went to town on it. And then for my the other two halves, I rubbed my wind activation energy to kind of aid the prosperity and also create changes in my life that I feel like I need. Help me activate, help me make these changes, help things be moving with the wind and activating, and just go with it. And so I had these four halves. I took them outside, and then I planted them, or I should say put them in the dirt face down where the seeds are pointed downwards, all the energy, the smudge is pointed downwards. And the reason why I did that is because kind of like planting, So just have that energy pointing into the earth and cultivating in the earth and blossoming and growing up out of the roots and out of the dirt and the grass. And when I put them in the dirt face down, I imagine energies of my spell weaving and working its way into the dirt like roots. And so it's kind of like my spell is planting itself. These energies are planting itself, and they're going to be blossoming and going to be taking place around me in the nature that grows around me. So it all becomes one because I find, even though that's a very slow working spell, it's a very long lasting energetic spell. So fire and wind is very quick, very fast, but I want this to be very long lasting. I want this to be very just powerful in the way the earth can make magic happen. And so having them face down and having energies work into the earth to take part of everything around me is kind of like coming in full circle, and also utilizes the fact that we are all connected. So I'm connected to my magic through the earth and it is connected to me, and together we are constantly growing and moving. Now, that is my honestly one of my favorite ways of working spells. And the way it kind of is set is so for at the full moon I'm going to pull stuff, but while things are growing, it's going to be dormant in the winter time possibly, but when spring comes up, that shit is going to manifest like crazy. So all the energy I put in, everything is going to be blossoming up with the new growth. So with the new grass, with the new leaves and flowers and even little baby animals growing, it's all going to be there. And so that's what makes it long lasting, and that's what makes it such a powerful kind of spell. So that was my morning before I went to work, and afterwards I stayed a little bit outside, had a friend come over. We didn't really celebrate, like, she's not pagan, so I didn't celebrate Mabon. I just want to spend time with her. But Saturday and Sunday after work, I was outside. Saturday I was outside for Pride Festival, and I was celebrating Pride, I I was outside enjoying the energies, but Sunday was a really big time for me to go to the park. So Sunday I kind of continued my Mabon ritual and just energies and celebration by spending the day outside. I walked alone in a park, listening to some music, and just enjoyed nature. I walked for like a good couple of miles, and I just sat and breathed and walked. It's pretty much a walking meditation. So with walking meditations, you kind of just try to focus on the things around you, but not tie any memory, any thought to it. So I look at the trees, I looked at the water, I looked at the birds and the sky and everything, and I just saw them for what they were. Didn't necessarily tie that much thought to them until I finished my walking meditation, and then I decided to actually reflect on it. What energetic changes do I feel at this turning of the wheel? Do I feel anything significant? Is it subtle? Do I see any changes reflected around me in nature? Honestly, this part of September, Virginia, it's still pretty hot, so it's really, you can't really see that many changes in the leaves. I mean, you can start seeing the leaves falling a little bit, start seeing them change color, but it's not that significant. So I reflected on this, and so for me at this time of the year, this is a very subtle wheel change, very slow transition from summer into fall, because it's still hot, still very hot. No birds have been migrating yet. They should start next month, so kind of like the wheel turning from summer to fall is very long lasting here in Virginia. Um, Sometimes it's really short-lived. Honestly, we don't get chilly until like the week of Halloween. Literally the past 3 years, Halloween week, like the day of Halloween, it's like, oh my gosh, it's cold. And so we're kind of going to get that kind of energy going on here. But I know I'm slowly seeing everything change, all the colors, somewhat. Some of the leaves are falling, going bare, not really, but it's getting there. So I reflected on this sort of change, and that's also what kind of influenced my spell that I picked for Mabon as well, because I like when I usually create a spell for each Sabbath and or Sabbat, and so this is a slow energy changing, so that's what I did with the apples. So it was so pretty much Friday through Sunday I kind of did my thing and just kind of feel the energies of it, and just nothing too major. I'm not very elaborate with my rituals and spells. I used to do like, gosh, I remember when I first started practicing, I used to do like full blown out circles, the works, whatever you name it. Now, like, I just like be in nature, and I find that really beneficial. There's nothing wrong with holding like the big rituals and that very big, oh, it starts with an E. Shoot, I can't think of the word now. Anyways, but like I like to be in nature and just feel the earth kind of during my rituals. So that's what I did this time. And I found it very beneficial. It worked so well for me, and I just feel very grounded right now, which is good because things are, changing at work. I'm hoping to experience some change. I mean, I did my activation spell, so we'll see. But I hope everyone else had a really good Mabon as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it or share, make a comment. Any suggestions for like another video coming up if you guys like. I'm still trying to do my Frigga Friday, so I'm actually going to have that one up next. But if you guys have any suggestions, comment, like, share, you name it. It's great to see you guys again. Blessed be.